So it is day 2 or part 2 of making merch for my favorite shows and fandoms. And today we are making a hat inspired by the series of unfortunate events, which is also a series book and movie. And last time I made a spyglass, so today I'm going to make a hat. And I decided to go with a newsboy look. And this is so enjoy the process. Sometimes I find it hard to create things and film at the same time because I'm usually looking at reference photos and videos on my phone. So whenever I want to record me in the process, I kind of can't because I'm using my phone to, you know, do the art. But this time I had the family laptop, as you can see. In this moment, I'm literally watching a video on how to make a newsboy hat. I realized anything you want to do, just do it. You have an idea. It's really good to express yourself and execute your idea, even if it's not all the way put together. If you want to make a shirt, oh, but you don't know how to make a shirt. Well, that's the whole point in learning. Look up a video, ask someone that you know that likes to make shirts if you have that connection, and then just learn. Life is about learning. This is the part of the video where I realized my mistake and I didn't really tell you guys how to follow along and make a hat like the one I made. So to that I say go watch a different video. I'm just kidding. I'll show you. I'll tell you some tips of how I made this hat, which I had to watch another video to make this hat because I've never made a hat like this before. So I'll move this aside, and like the past video, I will just share with you guys. When you look down to it, there's 3 parts to a hat. There's the top, there's the band, and then there's the cap. So we'll start with the easiest one. For your cap, you'll need 2 pieces of material. You'll need a top piece of material and you'll need a bottom piece of material. So that's easy enough. But then you're going to want to figure out what shape. So the basic shape of a cap is kind of like a crescent. You know what a crescent is? You know, like the moon? It's kind of like a crescent. And then just turn that crescent sideways. So this is the normal shape of a cap. So what I would do is I would get a piece of cardboard or whatever you want to put in the inside to make it, hard and flexible, and then cut out a crescent shape and put it onto your 2 pieces of fabric and then cut those fabrics out. And what you're going to want to do from there is you're going to want to sew. You're going to want to put right sides together, If you don't know how to sew, if you don't know how to sew and you're a beginner, I'm basically a beginner, but the first thing I learned in this process is most things that you are going to sew, you're going to sew them right sides together first. Okay? And then from there, the second piece of a hat is the band. I forgot to tell you that you're only going to want to sew the outer brim of the cap part because you want to leave an opening to put your cardboard in and to sew to the band in the rest of the hat. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to measure. So the second piece of a hat is the band. The band is what goes around the cap. So the band is this part of the cap that goes around your head. So you're going to want to measure the circumference of your head, and it really helps if you have one of these measuring things, measuring cords, I guess. Wrap one of these around your head, and then just measure. And then that's the length that it's going to be. And for my band, I did a little. Since this is my first hat, I kind of messed up. So I would say make your band about 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And if you want to do it any bigger, then that's good. But I wouldn't do it any smaller than 1.5 inches. You need 2 pieces of fabric for your cap, 2 pieces of fabric for your band, and then for the top of your newsboy hat, it has 6 pieces. And the video I watched, well, there was math involved, which is fine, but I don't remember that math. It had calculations, so if you really want to get it right for your head shape, then I would search it up and do those calculations. But for the sake of this video, since I honestly don't remember the calculations, I'm just going to show you the patterns that I made. And what I found was actually really helpful is the math part and the calculations that you had to do to come up with the stuff. Because I don't have a printer and I'm broke. So like, I don't have money to buy patterns and I don't have a printer to print the patterns. So being able to come up with my own patterns just by measuring my body and doing calculations is actually really helpful. But you're gonna want 6 pieces that kind of look like this. They're kind of like diamond shaped, but also cut off the corner. So how I made this, I don't remember the calculations, but you're gonna want I used wrapping paper. I just use wrapping paper, like Christmas wrapping paper, except this one isn't Christmas themed. And then you're gonna want like a big square, and you're gonna measure from the top of your head down to about your ear. You're gonna measure top of your head down to about your ear, and then you're gonna put that on that square piece of paper. And you want to put a hole in the middle and put your pencil at the end. And you're going to want to draw a circle around that. And then you're going to want to cut out equal halves of that circle. And then I'll just share you my measurements, where from the top of my head to the bottom of my ear was 10. It was like 10 and a couple inches, but basically 10. And then across those sections, for mine, I did 7 inches. And then it really only matters up to this part. Like you see a triangle, it really only matters up to this part. Because then you can cut this part whatever length you want. It doesn't really matter. But like, so this part is what's right here. If whatever angle you want these curves to be on your hat depends on what curve you line these up to be. And then you don't need multiple pieces. You don't need all 6 pieces of paper. You just need one panel, and then put that panel over your fabric, then cut it 6 times. And then in the video, I showed you you're going to want to sew right sides together each time. And then it helps to press the seams down. It does really help to press the seams down. And then it comes out like this. And mine kind of looked like a gnome's hat. So I decided to sew the middle part in as well so that it wouldn't have a point. But it's up to you for your final touches and stuff like that. And I'd say just like, bring out your creative side. Do things that you don't think will work. And just try, because you'll never know. They might just work. Because like for this side of the hat, I was just like, okay, are these gonna actually fit? Are these gonna work? Am I gonna sew them on right? And they fit the theme, and I really like how I sewed them on there. And oh, for your cap, once you sew the cap, you see how you can sew the lines. The lines really help it, the fabric stretch and bend with the whatever material you put on the inside. So we have completed our hat. Okay, let's go. It looks pretty good. So this is what that looks like. See up there. I'm going to put a series of unfortunate events. I'm going to put the logo right here. This is what by Peach Gang, which is me. So let me know if you guys like these videos and subscribe.